Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC.
And welcome back to another episode of the FLC Hangout, where your freedom lifestyle begins. Today we are live. We are coming at you live from YouTube. I am live on my phone right now as well in the Facebook group. So hello, if you are on my phone. Misty is here too as well. Look at that. We're live right now, and today I'm gonna be ending the live on my phone in a bit, so head over to YouTube if you want to watch the whole thing. Today we have a really exciting topic, and it is all about thinking big, having big goals. What does it mean to think big, and are you being too realistic with your goals? Because I think it's very easy to think and say that you have big goals, but are they actually big, or have you just been conditioned your whole life to think so small that now thinking a little bit big or a little bit out the box is considered thinking really big? So let's dive into that. Let's explain exactly what we mean by that and how can you actually have those massive, big, phenomenal 10x goals that will actually get you to the freedom lifestyle that you want to get at. So without further ado, Misty, handing over to you. What does it mean to be realistic, and what does it mean to actually think big to you?
Oh, thank you, Josie. Sorry, my throat's kind of... I just want to let you guys know I'm also live on I'm also live on Instagram. So we're on there. Well, online anyway. I should have gone. You're doing what I do.
I spilled water down myself. See, that's what you get for being live.
Yeah, you're live and you're excited, and it's like, let's go shower ourselves and stuff. Actually, going back to your question, what it means to be realistic and to think big. For me, being realistic is so boring. It's just boring. It's mediocre. It's not. It's not motivating. It's not life-changing. I want something that's going to really impact me and my family. Like Grant Cardone says, long-term, we want to leave a legacy, right? And what's the best way to do that? Think big. I love thinking big. I struggle with like my family because they don't think big. And they're like, you're just crazy. Well, yeah, but no at the same time. So, because I never seen myself fitting into a box. I tried to fit into a box to please other people and ended up hurting myself in the long run. So I try not to do that anymore. That just doesn't work. So for me, thinking big is like, it's just natural. It's just who I am. It's what I want to do. It's where I'm at. So, I want to get into a little bit later about how the difference between the way I think and other people think. Okay. But Josie, I want to know what it means to you to think big. I mean, what's the difference to you between realistic and thinking big?
Gosh, yeah. I think it's so easy. Hello. It's so easy to, like I said at the beginning, think that you are thinking big, because our whole life since we were children and we first went to school, we've been conditioned to follow the system that everyone else is following. You go to school, you get good grades, you get a good job, whatever that means, and you be happy. But it really, And then I think that's why, as soon as you have a little bit of a bigger goal than that, and you have a little bit of a different vision than that for yourself, maybe you want to start a business, maybe you want to go like travel the world and work from home or work from a laptop, that's seen as crazy. That's seen as like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, there's no way you can do that. That's going to fail. Like, only some people are successful in that. And by the way, only some people are successful in that because only some people are willing to actually go through the challenges that come with that. You have challenges whether you follow the system and get a 9 to 5, or you choose this freedom lifestyle instead. Either way, there's going to be challenges, but only a few people stick to this freedom lifestyle. So that's why only a few people make it. If you stick to it, like the post you made the other day, if you stick to your plans, you're going to get them. But going back to my side tangent, coming back onto the road.
We like our tangents.
We love our tangents over here.
We love it.
The difference between thinking big or like having realistic goals and thinking big is actually which goal will get you that freedom lifestyle. And I'm not talking about you have good money, but you're still worrying about money at the end of the month, or you're doing okay, like you have a good lifestyle. But if your friends or family need some money or need you to fly over, I don't know, go visit someone has an emergency and you can't do it. It's these kind of things that is actually the freedom lifestyle. Can you do that? Can you go wherever you want? Can you lend money to people that need it? Do you have money for you at the end of the month? And a lot of people will settle, and a lot of people's goals is just the bare minimum to actually get them by, not actually how do I go for broke instead of go stop it here. I think I'm curious what you think as well. I think what stops people from actually having those massive, like unattainable, crazy, like psychotic goals is, one, society will tell you you're crazy over and over and over again. You'll hear it everywhere. Unless you're around the right people, you'll be told you're crazy. Two, it still requires a lot of work to get there. And I think most of the time it seems easier to just take the easy way out and quit on that and just stay comfortable in where you are. And I think 3, you're not taught to dream big in school. You're not taught how do I actually dream big? How do I actually have these goals that will get me the freedom lifestyle, and how do I stick to it? So I think a mixture of all of that is what stops a lot of people from actually dreaming big. What about you? What do you think stops people from hitting those goals?
I think when we're, like we always tell people, when we're little, we're free, right? We think big. We think that we can have anything. We can be anybody. And then all of a sudden we are told, no, that's not realistic. You can't do this. No, that's not. And I think that it's become, not only that we're conditioned that way from a young age, I think it's become a taboo. It's like, you can't do this because you're thinking outside the box, and people don't like to be reminded that they've settled for what they didn't want. They didn't go for their dreams. That bothers people. Gee, my throat's acting up. But I think that, when people here at FLC, we're taught that to let people know that when people are telling you can't do this and you're crazy and this is wrong and it's not realistic, you're on the right path. It means you're doing the right things. You need to keep going because you don't want, the most rewarding path or destination is usually the path less traveled. So I think we need to keep going. If you're doing something that other people are like, that's unrealistic, you can't do this, that's wrong, you're crazy, fantastic, keep it coming. Because it's just telling me I'm doing something you're not willing to, because I want something that you're not willing to go for. Doesn't mean they can't have it. Just means they're not willing to put themselves out there and reach that, reach that goal. And what I wanted to bring up earlier, and I kind of want to touch a little bit on, is I was hoping to be able to put little pictures up so I can give you the difference in thinking and see it visually. However, because we're live, we haven't learned how to do that yet. So deal with it.
Haven't unlocked that system yet.
Anyway, what it is when say you're going to build a house, right? And so you're going to build this house and you have these plans, and they're going to be standard stock, run-of-the-mill plans. But you're like thinking big, and you're looking at this house and how can I make this my own? So you want to go and buy a sink. Do you want a regular sink, or do you want something that's out of the box? People would consider way too expensive, extravagant. What is that word? Can't remember the word. They used to say Michael Jackson was this because he bought things that weren't normal, like a normal regular sink. He'd go outside the box and think big. And like for me, I would love to have a tree stump as a sink. I think that would be fantastic. Oh, wow. Sorry, what? my Instagram is now doing the things that Chabaria and Seb do with their bags.
No.
I'm like, live, by the way. Like, wow, it's doing it. Where'd that come from? But so for me, I really love to think outside the box. Okay. And some people think so far outside the box. It blows my mind. I'm like, I thought big, but this is outrageously big. I didn't think of this. So on my Instagram and on my TikTok, and now it's getting more and more on my Facebook, I look at those things that are extravagant. Most people would think, oh, that's really expensive. That's just crazy. Why would you want that? When you think toaster, what do you think? You think just a regular box toaster, right? Yeah. No. This was a freaking motorcycle. Why would you want a toaster that looks like a motorcycle? Or better yet, why would you not want a toaster that looks like a motorcycle? I said, Chabaria, after I saw that, I have not shown it to anybody, but after I saw that, I saw on Instagram toilets that were the shape of motorcycles with the handlebars and everything. I'm like, I sent it to Chabaria. He's like, I'm like, why would you want that? But at the same time, why would you not? And I keep telling Chabaria, I tell you, Chabaria, because I send you, Chabaria, and Pierre stuff all the time. I keep spamming you guys with stuff. And the reason why I do that is not just to show you guys because I'm so excited about it. It's also to remind me, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want this. I like this. Oh, look at this. But it reminds me on a daily basis, hey, I can think outside the box and have everything I want. I don't have to limit myself. So I'm limitless, which is what you guys are, right? We're all limitless. And I think that's so important to know. Sorry, I keep talking. I'll be quiet. Yeah. Go for it.
This is a talk show, Misty. You're meant to talk. I just want to say a couple.
You're not supposed to just completely take over.
Hello, Mayuri. Hello, Shashmita in the house. Hello, Daniel. Thank you guys for tuning in and comment. By the way, comment where you're tuning in from. We are live on YouTube right now. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to Misty on the computer here. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. But back to what you were saying, Misty, it's so true. Like the toaster example you gave, the regular toaster, which is what a lot of people are going to think. If you say toaster, people are going to imagine a toaster. I mean, unless you're really out of the box, you might not even imagine a toaster. But like a normal looking toaster. But then thinking out the box, you can make a toaster anything. And this isn't about toasters. If you're just tuning in now, this isn't about toasters. Oh my God, Shashmita's from the Nebula Galaxy. We knew that, Shashmita. You're in that galaxy? I thought you were in the other galaxy. Are you taking a holiday? Daniel's in London? Yeah, let's go. This isn't about toasters. This is about life. If people ask you what your goals are, when you were a child, you had no filter on your goals. nothing was like weirdly impossible. You want to be an astronaut at 7 years old? Of course you want to be an astronaut at 7 years old. But the older you get now, if someone asks you, what do you want to be when you're older? And you say like financially free, have all the time freedom in the world, do this, that here at FLC is normal. You tell the average Joe that, you're going to be seen as crazy. And that's really, it's sad, really, that this is the life that everyone deserves to have. The life that everyone deserves to have, and the life that really is the only freedom lifestyle that you can have to be able to do all these things, is seen as crazy. But us being on this planet, floating in space, having all the opportunities we have around us in the world, having access to the internet, having access to self-development, all this stuff, and wanting to better yourself and get that freedom lifestyle is crazy. And wanting to follow the system and stay in the rat race isn't. I think somewhere along the lines we've been misconstrued here. So, and an important note is that it's not people's fault, right? It's not your fault if you're watching. It's not your fault. It's not your fault if you are conditioned like this, and because we all have been. If you see these things as crazy and impossible, it's not your fault that you see it that way. It's the conditioning that we've all been through, but it is your responsibility to do something about it. It is your responsibility to acknowledge, okay, no, this isn't the only way. I can do something about my life. Like Matilda, the musical, the song, it's like the life is written for you, but if you're not happy with it, you have to rewrite the story. There's a song in Matilda about that. It's true. Rewrite your story. Like you don't have to live this life. Daniel says we only have one life. So true. We owe it to ourselves to make the most of it. Exactly. You are here for what, 70 to 80 years, 90 maybe if you're lucky, and you're just going to spend it in the way that's written out for you. That's not true freedom. Yeah, right. Okay, fine. If you wanted to be that. FLC, you're in FLC. You guys, we're not like that, are we? We dream big. What are some tips or tricks or advice you would have for people that want to aim high and they want that life, but it seems impossible? Like you think of it and you try and manifest it and you write your goals down, but really in the back of your mind, you're like, this isn't possible, like this, come on, like, am I being too unrealistic here? Because we all get that. What's some tricks that you would do or give these people?
Well, I've said it, I think I've said it a million times. You're not a marionette. You're not a puppet. You're not on strings. There's not somebody constantly holding a gun to your head. Hey, you have to live the way I tell you to. That's just not realistic. It's not life. So you need to realize that the time when you finally start realizing, hey, I'm the one in control of my life, I make up what happens and how I'm going to live it, then it becomes a little bit easier. But being able to get into that mindset of, hey, I'm in control is a little bit, can be scary, right? But Grant Cardone says, if you're afraid of heights, I don't understand why you're afraid of heights. We're on a planet in the middle of space. You're in heights. You shouldn't be afraid of heights, right? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you need to start thinking, I can have. Why can't I? Who said you couldn't?
Mm-hmm.
What was the reason behind why they were saying you couldn't?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't, it's not, to me, it doesn't register. It doesn't say, hey, like, well, it's this and it's this. It's their logic and their reasoning does not make sense for, society's why we're conditioned into doing things. It's because they want to keep us into and this is going to be controversial, and I'm sorry, but you know what? This is what it is. It's a slavery mindset, because it's basically, I want you to go, you're going to go to school. We're going to condition you to think the way we want you to. You're going to learn just enough to get a good job or get a job work just hard enough to survive yourself, but you're going to make our dreams come true.
Mm-hmm.
So we're conditioned for. And that's not what reality is.
Yeah.
The conditioning is the fantasy. It is not the reality. The reality is you are not, you're not a puppet. You're not a slave. You are in control of every aspect of your life. And if you haven't figured that out yet, go look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Is there strings attached to you? Do you have somebody holding a gun to your head? Somebody holding your family for ransom? Come on.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. Think about it. What makes sense? And it doesn't have to be, oh, God wants me to do this and God wants me to do that. It doesn't have to be about that at all. It's about what you want and what kind of lifestyle you want to have. And like you said, life is short. We're only here for a certain amount of years. Are you going to spend it making somebody else's dreams come true so they can live their freedom lifestyle? Or do you say, hey, I want mine? I deserve to have mine. I've worked hard. I am a good person. I help people. I deserve this. Because you do. Everybody deserves to live free. It's just, you really do. So start. What I do, and not only did I join FLC, which is a big help. I mean, if you're not in FLC, I don't know what you're doing. You need to get in FLC. The Freedom Lifestyle Creators. Look us up on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. But I joined FLC. Also, you start reading other books. Like we read Grant Cardone books. There's other books about people who are doing, reaching their goals and dreams.
Yeah.
Then there's the videos. I follow Master Shri Krishna, not because of the woo-woo stuff. I mean, that does help me, but also because he makes sense. What he says and what he's teaching makes sense. If you really think about it in the context of your life, if you sit there and think, okay, nature and reality gives you things all the time, clues that it makes sense. Think of magnets. You can't put a positive and a negative together. They just won't go together, right? And if you turn that one around and it's a positive and a positive, they go together and it's hard to bring them apart, right? So what we're doing by following the conditioning is essentially that. We're putting two magnets, a negative and a positive, together, and they're just not going together, and we're trying to force it. It just doesn't work. So we have to start realizing what we're thinking and changing that, finding ways that make sense for us, because what makes sense for somebody else may not make sense for you. So we have to find ways that make sense for us to start changing and thinking, okay, this is, unless you're completely off your rocker, then we'll talk. But, it's just start thinking differently. Start realizing what you're thinking and saying, okay, how does this make me feel? Does this get me to the goal I want to go to? Is this really how I want to live, how I want to feel, what I want to do? If not, how can I change that? What can I learn from this and change it to what I want? Right?
Yeah.
Am I off? Am I wrong?
No, exactly. Exactly. I think the point you made was really important, exactly what I was going to say as well. Daniel says, we indeed have been taught to conform to society and we need to take our power back. It is that. It is exactly that. Take your power back. Like you were put into this world with all the power and it's been taken away from you. But yes, it's very easy to say, bye, Daniel. Thank you for tuning in, legend.
Bye.
Misty says goodbye as well. Surround yourself with success stories. And what I mean by that is we at FLC, we write our goals down. That's what we get taught. That's what we all do. I'm not perfect. I don't do it every day. You should do it every day. I'm working towards that. But it is very easy to write down these goals, and we learn to 10x the goals that we have. Okay, you have your goal, 10x it. You want to make 100,000 a year? go for 1 million a year, because then you actually will. Even if you don't reach the 1 million, you'll reach more, way more than the 100,000. This is why we do it. But it's very easy to second doubt yourself as you're writing this down, or as you're saying affirmations and you're doing all this, to think in your head, oh, okay, how, like, is this actually going to happen? Like, I feel stupid. I feel silly writing this down because it's not realistic. That's very easy to think. But the more you surround yourself with people that have done it, people that are doing it, and people that also practice this 10x way of thinking, or this big way of thinking, like I think Grant Cardone is an amazing example, not just because he's really successful right now, and which he is, he's a billionaire, got all these companies, all this real estate, but because of his story. He came from nothing. If you know anything about his story, you'll know that he came from nothing. If you don't know, really quick, his dad died when he was 10. His mum didn't have a job, had no money. They had to move into this small little house. He got into lots and lots of trouble at school, drinking, drugs, was in rehab by the time he was 20, 21, 22.
He was homeless at one point.
He was homeless. He couldn't afford £100 a month rent. All this stuff. He had people after him all the time because of how much shit he was in. And look at him now. So I'm not saying he's just the example because of how successful he is. He's the example because he came from nothing. And as soon as he adopted the 10x mentality, and he realized, no, actually, I deserve more and I can do more. I have everything I need to be able to do more. I can speak. I can talk to people. I have the internet. I have access to education, knowledge and education, not just being university school. I have everything I need to reach my goals, and he did it. So why can't you? If he can do it, so can you. So I think getting around the right people, learning from the right people is so super important. FLC, join. Hey, Serena. Join FLC. Watch videos. Watch the FLC Hangout every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. UK time, except for when we're live. But it's true. Just get around people, either virtually or physically, that have done it and are doing it. And watch. I made a reel about this. Get around the right people, learn from the right people, and watch your life change. Watch your mindset, your goals, your ideas of what you can achieve, and the actions you take every day will change like this. I promise you.
Yeah, it may take time, and sometimes it's a little hard because I love my caregiver, my client I take care of during the day. He's amazing. He is on the negative side. And like I was explaining to him, it's not easy changing your mindset. It is hard work because it takes a lot of recognizing what you're thinking, when you're thinking it, being self-aware, and then realizing, how is this making me feel? How do I want to change this? And how do I do that? Right? So it's not easy, but it's so worth it because your life becomes more fulfilling. You become happier. Everything changes. So it's just being that self-aware and getting around the same people. What is it? The 5, you said it on one of the other videos, the 5 people you're around the most are, what is that?
You're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself.
Go. Yeah, you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if you're going to be around people who are going to constantly be negative, that's what you're going to get, is a negativity, right? And we don't want that. So we want you to, here at FLC, again, it's the Freedom Lifestyle Creators. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube, TikTok,
Shameless plug.
Yeah, Instagram, everywhere. But what we're talking about is getting around people who are moving the same direction you are, think the same way you do, because we can help you to get to that where you want to go and help you to learn how to change that. Because, Josie, I don't know if people still do it to you in the core family, but we meet every morning, right, for the team meetings, every morning. And me, because I'm the only one in the US that's up while everybody else is sleeping, I still have struggle with the negative thoughts at times. And when I say something negative on one of the team meetings, I don't mean to, I don't realize I'm doing it, but Seb or somebody will say, well, you have to stop doing this. You have to stop doing that. And it's like, wow, I didn't even realize that I was doing that. But get around people who are willing to hold you accountable and say, hey, this is not right. You don't deserve to think that way. Stop that. You're not this.
Yeah.
Get around people like that. Start opening yourself up. I was, I'll pass it back to you in just a second. I was with a company called Primerica selling life insurance years ago. And the guy who was teaching how to do it said, what kind of car is your dream car? He goes, any car. Money wasn't the issue at all. What kind of car would it be? I'm like, I don't know. I really didn't know. I'd never been allowed to think that way, so I had no idea. He goes, because what we're going to do is we're going to drive down to the dealer, the CarShip dealer, and we're going to get you into that car. We're going to get you into it. You may not be able to buy it right now. We're going to get you into it. We're going to get you pictures with it. We're going to let you drive it, get you into that mentality that it's already yours. And then you start working for it. And when you can, you go down and you buy that car. But surrounding yourself with people like that and the things that you want, like for me, I have pictures all over my house, things I want. I have it, it's on my desktop, on my laptop. It's all over my Instagram, my TikTok. Now I said what do you call it? My Facebook is now catching up. So it's surrounding me more and more. And that is going to be my reality. The way we say it is my reality. So just get out there. You guys can do this. Get into FLC. We'll help you do it. We'll show you exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I know we're on the topic of goals right now, and this is still related to goals because you can't achieve your goals without the right people around you. The importance of having the right people around you and getting your knowledge from the right people is crazy. Like I've noticed this especially recently. I've spoken a little bit to Seb about this as well. The people in my life, right, like physically in my life, not the core family, because I spend most of my time with you guys and I wouldn't change that for the world. The people physically in my life, like the friends I had before uni, I made at uni, or I have right now, I love them. Like, don't get me wrong, I love them as people. Are they the people I want around me in this life of trying to achieve the levels that I want to achieve? Probably not. And recently it's been a little bit of a rude awakening of this idea, and just realizing that maybe it's healthier to take a step back from some people in order to go faster. And this was especially apparent, especially when we went to Swansea with the team just now to watch Jabaria do her TED Talk. I was around the right people for 2 days straight, and it's not a long time, but just
it makes a difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Instead of being drained afterwards, I was uplifted. We barely got any sleep, but I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. And what I'm saying is get around the right people, get people that support you, actually want the best for you. Like with our core family, we genuinely want the best for each other. We genuinely celebrate each other's wins. Like we're genuinely happy when each other win, just as happy as when we win. And like that's all you could ask for. So get yourself around these people. If you are in FLC, you have the core family, you have each other as well. Everyone here watching here or here. If you're not in FLC, join the community. Follow us on Instagram. These are our handles on the screen. Follow us on Facebook. Send us a friend request. Do everything you can to surround yourself with big thinkers and positive attitudes. That's what I'm trying to say.
There you go. So Josie, it is about that time. So I have a last question for you. I know it's time flies when you're having fun, right? And unfortunately, so my question for you is, now that you've seen the difference between being around people who are like-minded and are willing to help genuinely support you to get you to your goals and dreams and for you to think big, what are the steps that you're going to take in order to get there?
Oh, good question. Get to my dream life?
Yes. Because it's so much closer. You know, if you really think about it, we talk about this a lot. If you really think about it, our dream life is so close. All we have to do is take the action. And if you think about the action, it's so small. Just to change your entire life. The action is so small.
Yeah. Seb was saying this the other day, and I will answer the question, but Seb was telling our team this the other day, right? The difference between the life you have now and the person you want to be, like the other life you want, is a mindset shift, a mindset shift. Oh my goodness. Say that 3 times fast. A mindset shift. There we go. And it really is. It's really true. So just switch that mindset. You have everything you need to be that person right now. So be it. But to answer your question, I think in summary, the short answer would be do more of what scares me, because that has gotten me the biggest results. As soon as I actually just committed and not sacrificed, like trusted, like let go and just did the things that scared me, did what Shabaria told me to do, like go call that person, go like lead this demo, jump on the call with this person, or Seb says like write down your goals, do all this. I don't want to do it. I didn't want to call that person. I didn't want to ask that person for money. I didn't want to jump on that call, lead the call when Shabaria was there. But that's the times I grew the most. So if it scares you, it's because doing that action that scares you is going to lead you to a whole new person and level of growth. And that's scary because that's unknown right now. So I think that was kind of the longer answer of my short answer, but in short, do more of what scares you if it's leading you closer to that lifestyle you want.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's so me. He kind of threw me. It seems so easy, right? And in reality, it really is. It's easy. It's easy to do. It's just a mindset change, thinking different, taking small action. However, at the same time, facing your fears can be difficult for some people. Me, for one. I am really fearful of doing stuff. And my thing is like you said, I'm going to do more of what scares me. And most things don't scare me. The biggest thing that scares me the most is making the cold calls. So what am I going to do? I'm going to force myself to do more cold calls. And stop thinking of limiting, because I keep thinking, how am I supposed to make more cold calls if we're all making the same amount of calls and we only have this many leads? Aren't we all just dialing the same people over and over and over and over again? When in reality, that's not true. So it's like, I got to quit thinking that way. I have to adjust my thinking as well. But from my one-on-one coaching call with Coach David, I still am kind of mind blown. Nobody else showed up. It's like, wow. But with that, And like, was it Seb or you or somebody said it was probably meant to be that way because I probably needed it. So, which is so true. But what he told me to do in there are things I'm going to start doing. I am doing. I'm taking more initiative and making small changes here and there that are going to make a big impact. So definitely doing more of what scares me and not worry so much of, I'm just going to quit worrying about the consequences. As long as I know the consequences are going to be in a positive light, I'm not going to worry about them anymore. I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to just be amazing. This next year, I hope I didn't freeze. I probably did. This next year is our year, Jesse. It's our year. It's our year. We're just going to kick butt and take names and change lives. So we're coming for you. If you are not in FLC yet, or even if you are, we're coming for you.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, guys, we thank you so much for joining us. We've had so much fun on the live. So I hope you do see our flaws, because we want to showcase that authenticity is amazing. And we love being able to show you that we are real people. We go through the same things you guys do. We would love to join you on your journey to your freedom lifestyle, because even though it's not written here anywhere, this is where your freedom lifestyle begins. And it begins the moment you make the decision. And we're here to help you, support you, love you, and get you to where you want to go. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us again. Keep learning. Keep being who you are. Be omnipresent. If you haven't know what that is, we'll talk about it next week. So, cliffhanger. But like we say here at the FLC, once you're family for life. Can't get rid of us. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in. If you like or got anything from this live, like, subscribe, share this video, this live with everybody. We're trying to reach as many people as possible to help them get to their freedom lifestyle, because everybody deserves to live free. And freedom really means it's not about having the money. It's about what the money can bring you and gives you. That's what freedom is. Again, we'll talk more about that next week. So keep tuning in, guys. If you have any comments, suggestions, let us know in the comments below. Love you guys. Bye.
See you next week.
Goodbye. Goodbye.